Hi guys, I'm Qadis and today I'm going to be your teacher. ዛሬ የምናያቸው ከሌላው ጊዜ ለየት ባለ መልኩ ሁለት ቻፕተር ነው የምንሸፍነው ዛሬ because እናንተ ባላችሁት መሰረት ለኤግዛማችሁ የሚጠቅማችሁን ለሰኖች ነው ያወጣጣነውና ከዩኒት 4 እና ዩኒት 5 ነው የምናየው ዛሬ። ዩኒት 4 አንድ ለሰን ከዩኒት 5 ደግሞ ሁለት ለሰኖችን እናያለን። so የዩኒት 4 ለሰን እና የዩኒት 5 አንደኛው ለሰን ለኤግዛም ያዘጋጃችሁ ሲሆን የዩኒት 5 አንደኛው ለሰን ደግሞ ለኮሌጅ አፕሊኬሽን ስኮላርሺፖችን ሲፈልጉ እንዴት ወርዲነስን መቀነስ እንደምትችሉ ያሳያችኋል። ሶ የዩኒት 4 የመጀመሪያው ለሰን adverbial clause of time ነው። ባለፈው adverbial phrase አይተን ነበር። ዛሬ ደግሞ adverbial clause of time እናያለን። adverbial clause in general adverbial clause ማለት a group of words ሆነው እንደ adverb ሲያገለግሉ የሆኑ አንድ ላይ የምናገኛቸው ወርዶች እንደ adverb ሆነው ሲያገለግሉ adverb ደግሞ it can modify a verb, it can modify an adjective, it can modify an adverb ብለናል last time. so እነዚህን ስራዎች የሚሰራልን ከሆነ adverbial clause it functions as an adverbial clause እንለዋለን። ሁሌ adverbial clause ሲሆን dependent clause ነው። dependent ወይ subordinate clause ነው። it's either a dependent clause or a subordinate clause ምክንያቱም የሚገልጽልን የሆነ ነገር የሚገልጽልን እስከሆነ ድረስ ብቻውን ቆሞ ትርጉም ሊሰጠን አይችልም። adverbial clause of time ደግሞ ያ አክሽን መቼ እንደተፈጸመ ይገልጽልናል። አቀማመጡ ደግሞ ከሜን ክሎዝ በፊት ሲመጣ በኮማ እንለየዋለን። ከሜን ክሎዝ በኋላ ሲመጣ ደግሞ ዝም ብለን እናጣብቀዋለን። ልክ እንደ adverb ዝም ብሎ explain እያደረገ ይቀጥላል። for example, I always take a bath before I go to bed. እዚህ ላይ adverb of timeአችን is before መቼ bath እንደሚወስድ እየገለጸልን ነው። it comes right after bath, taking a bath አይደል? it comes right after taking a bath. so መቼ እንደሚወስድ እየገለጸልን ነው። እና adverbial clause of time is this whole sentence before I go to bed. no close. adverb of timeአችን the adverb that indicates time indicate የሚያደርግልን adverb is before ነው። time indicate የሚያደርግልን adverb። ሁለተኛው sentence ላይ after I have finished my work I will accompany you to the park. አሁን if we just say after I have finished my work ብለን የምናቆም ከሆነ the sentence wouldn't have a meaning. ትርጉም አይኖረውም sentence. I will accompany you to the park ብለን የምናቆም ከሆነ እቺን ብቻ እንወስድ ከሆነ ግን ትርጉም አለው። አንድ sentence ነው፣ ትርጉም አለው። ግን መቼ ሊለን ይችላል። time ይጠይቀናል። that means we have after I have finished my work. time-ን indicate የሚያደርግልን clause is the dependent clause. adverb of time ግን መኖር አለበት ብያችኋለሁ። so adverb of time is after በኋላ ስራዬን ጨርሼ ወይ ደግሞ ስራዬን ከጨረስኩ በኋላ የሚለው መቼ ለሚለው ጥያቄ ይገልጽልናል። so አንዳንድ adverbs of time እናያለን። the first one we have when እንደ adverb of time ስንጠቀምበት በዛን ጊዜ ወይ ደግሞ የሆነ አክሽን በሚፈጸምበት ጊዜ እንደማለት እንጠቀምበታለን። for example, he was playing with his friend when his mother called him. He was playing with his friends when his mother called him. እናቱ ስትጠራው ጓደኞቹ ጋር እየተጫወተ ነበር። he was playing with his friends when his mother called him. usually when ሲመጣ either present ይወስዳል simple present or simple past ይወስዳል። እዚህ sentence ውስጥ ደግሞ it took ከወን ጋር ያለው sentence took simple past form because we have called እዚህ ጋር simple past form okay ሁለተኛው adverb of time are while and as while ወይ ደግሞ as while እና as ሁለት አክሽኖች at the same time occur ያደርጉ እንደሆኑ ያሳየናል like በሁለቱም ክሎዝ ውስጥ ያሉት ሴንተንሶች በዲፔንደንት ክሎዝ እና በኢንዲፔንደንት ክሎዝ ውስጥ ያሉት አክሽኖች at the same time occur እንዳደረጉ ያሳየናል so at the same time occur እንዳደረጉ ስለሚያሳየን አንደኛው ላይ continuous እንጠቀማለን እንደዚህ ያረገ ያለ እኔ እንደዚህ ያረኩ ነበር እሱ እንደዚህ ያረገ ያለ እኔ እንደዚህ ያረኩ ነበር ይሄ እየተፈጠረ ያለ ይሄም እየተፈጠረ ነበር እንደማለት ነው while and as እንጠቀም እና ከwhile እና ከas ጋር የምንጠቀመው ቴንስ continuous tense ነው mind you እነዚህ አሁን የምነግራችሁ ቴንሶች dependent clause ላይ የሚመጡት adverbial clause ላይ የሚመጡት tense changes ናቸው ዛሬ ስለ main clause አናወራም ስለ dependent clause ስለ adverbial clause of time ነው የምናወራው so continuous tense ይመጣል ሁለቱም ጋር we have continuous tense with both ከwhile ጋም ከas ጋም while I was cooking dinner የሚላለስ I was cooking so he mowed the lawn while I was cooking dinner he mowed the lawn while I was cooking dinner so mowed the lawn mowed past form ነው past tense ነው so main clauseችን past tense ነው so the dependent clause ከwhile ጋር ያለው clause is going to be in its past continuous form while na as ሲሆን continuous tense ነው የሚወስደው የትኛው continuous እንደሆነ specify አላደረግንም present ሊሆን ይችላል past ሊሆን ይችላል but in the main clause in the independent clause past tense እስካለ ድረስ we use past continuous tense in the dependent clause so we have he mowed the lawn so while ጋለው I was cooking dinner was cooking or on ቦታቸውን ቀይረን if we say mowed the lawn is the action that was both were happening at the same time አይደል mowing the lawn and not cooking dinner were happening at the same time ላይ ነው action occur ያደረገው so the same time ላይ action occur ካረገ while ወይ ደግሞ as የመጣበት sentence ነው dependent clause የሚሆነው adverbial clause of time የሚሆነው adverb of time የመጣበት ጋር ነው so የመጀመሪያው ላይ cooking dinner ላይ መጣ cooking dinner ጋር we have while ሁለተኛው ላይ ግን mowing the lawn ላይ ነው as ያለ so we have as he was mowing the lawn I cooked dinner so ምንድነው ቴንሱም የሚቀያየረው adverb of time ከመጣው sentence ጋር ነው ቴንሱ የሚቀያየረው adverb of time ከመጣው clause ጋር ነው so I told you guys we're not going to talk about the independent clause ዛሬ we're going to talk about the dependent clause which is the adverb clause of time so adverb of time ጋር ስለሚመጣው adverb clause of time ነው የምናወራው ዛሬ so you see how the tense changes እዚህ ጋር cooking dinner ላይ ነው continuous tense የተጠቀም ነው because while የመጣው cooking dinner ጋር ነው እዚህ ጋር ደግሞ mowing the lawn ላይ ነው continuous tense የተጠቀም ነው because as የመጣው mowing the lawn ላይ ነው so while እና as ላይ ከመጣው ሁለቱም action at the same time occur ስለሚያደርግ ከመጣው sentence ጋር ነው continuous tense የምንጠቀመው okay and then we have before ማለት የሆነ ነገር before something takes place የሆነ ነገር ከማጋጠሙ በፊት ማለት ነው so በፊት ስለሆነ either past ነው ማለት either something that happened in the past now ወይ ደግሞ something that happened that is about to happen in the present for example simple past የምንጠቀመው for a past action independent clause ላይ past action ካለ simple past እንጠቀማለን simple present የምንጠቀመው simple future ከሆነ ነው independent clause simple future ከሆነ we use simple present tense ከdependent clause ጋር for example I left before they came I left ምትለዋ independent clause ናት ሌላ አያስፈልገንም በቃ I left እኔ ወጣሁ አለቅ if we want to continue if we want to say መቼ we can add before they came ከዛ ግን before ጋር ያለው clause dependent clauses ከሆነ ድረስ it depends on the independent clauses tense አይደል so independent clause is left አለ I left ነው so left is in its past form so simple past tense ነው ያለው ማለት ነው so እንደዛ ከሆነ dependent clauseአችንም simple past tense ይሆናል ማለት ነው the second one I will call him before he leaves so we have simple present tense for this one simple present tense አለን ለዚህኛው so in the independent clause we have simple future in the independent clause so I will call him so this is the simple future form of a sentence so dependent clauseአችን ምን ይሆናል ማለት ነው simple present tense so after የሆነ action occur ካረገ በኋላ እንደማለት ነው before ማለት የሆነ action occur ከማረጉ በፊት ነው ብለናል አይደል after ደግሞ የሆነ action occur ካረገ በኋላ ይሄ ማለት የፕሬዘንቱ past ይሄ ማለት የፕሬዘንቱ future ነው የፓስቱ present ነው እንደማለት ነው so ለpresent action ሲሆን future ለfuture event ሲሆን present tense ይወስዳል simple present tense ለpast event ሲሆን ደግሞ past tense or past perfect tense ይወስዳል ለpast event ሲሆን past tense or past perfect tense ይወስዳል for example if we say I will leave after he calls ከደወለ በኋላ ነው የሚሄደው ያለ ነው ከደወለ በኋላ ነው የሚሄደው so I will leave after he calls ይሄ ማለት ከደወለ በኋላ ነው የሚሄደው ማለት this is a future action ገና አልሄድኩም ለመሄድ ያሰብኩ ነው ማለት ነው መቼ ለሚለው ጥያቄ እሱ ከደወለ በኋላ after he calls so future action ስላለን independent clause ላይ we use simple present tense dependent clause ላይ the second example is I left after they came ከመጡ በኋላ ሄድኩኝ ወይ ከመጡ በኋላ ሄድኩኝ ማለት ነው so in the independent clause we have I left so ሄድኩ ሰው ሄድኩ ሲለ እሺ ትሏል ወይ መቼ ነው ወይ ወዴት ነው የሚጠይቀው so either we use adverbs of time or we use adverbs of place ግን እዚህ ላይ ስለ adverb of time እያወራን ስለሆነ we use after they came አይደል so እዚህ ጋር ያለው past simple ነው past simple tense እስከሆነ ድረስ ከafter በኋላ ሊመጣው የሚችለው tense is either past simple past tense or past perfect tense because already past ያደረገ event ነው የኔ መሄድ past ያደረገ event ስለሆነ so እዚህኛው ላይ we use past simple tense ሁለተኛው ላይ they came after they had left we can use past perfect tense ለpast action ከሆነ አሁንም ማለት ነው okay So it depends on the situation, but we can use either past tense or past perfect tense if it's a past action. And we have by the time. By the time ማለት የሆነ አክሽን ከሌላ አክሽን በፊት ካለቀ ወይ ደግሞ ኮምፕሊት ከሆነ የምንጠቀምበት ነው። ፓስት ፐርፌክት ለፓስት ኢቨንት ይጠቀማል። ይሄ ማለት ፓስት ኢቨንት ማለት ሜን ክሎሱ ላይ ወይ ደግሞ ኢንዲፔንደንት ክሎሱ ላይ ፓስት ኢቨንት ሲኖረን ፓስት ፐርፌክት ይጠቀማል። ፊውቸር ፐርፌክት ደግሞ ፊውቸር ኢቨንት ሲኖረን in the main clause future event ሲኖረን because አንደኛው already completed action ነው ብያችኋለሁ። አንደኛው ገና እየተጀመረ ያለ ኢቨንት ወይ ደግሞ እየተጀመረ የነበረ ኢቨንት ሲሆን ማለት ነው። ሶ ሁለት ሰንተንስ ላይ ሁለት ክሎዝ ላይ አንድ ላይ ተጣብቀው ሰንተንስ ሲፈጥሩ if the main clause is past ወይ ደግሞ the independent clause is past tense, simple past tense, we use past perfect tense. We use past perfect tense in the independent clause to show that something happened before it. የአክሽን ቅደም ተከተል የአክሽኑን ቅደም ተከተል ለማሳየት ነው የምንጠቀመው። For example, by the time I finished, he had left already. By the time I finished, he had left already. So had left already የሚለው is the past perfect form. Past perfect tense መሆኑን ነው የሚያሳየን። By the time ጋር ያለው is the past simple form. So main clause ላይ we have past perfect, and if the dependent clause ላይ we have a past event. ከpast event በፊት occur ያደረገ event ደግሞ we have it in the independent clause. Independent clause ላይ አለን ከpast event በፊት occur ያደረገ event. So መጀመሪያ የትኛው ነው occur ያደረገው? The one with the past perfect tense. Past perfect tense ያለው clause occur ያደረገ ነው። By the time አብሮት ከመጣ የሆነ clause is dependent clause ብለናል because it's an adverb of time. Adverbial clause of time ነው ያ clause. ስለዚህ by the time አብሮት ከመጣ ከዛ በፊት ወይ ከዛ ኋላ ያለው clause shows us by the time አብሮት ያለው clause በኋላ occur እንዳደረገ. This means by the time I finished እኔ በጨረስኩ ጊዜ ወይ ጨርሼ ቀና ስል already ሄዶ ነበር አልነበረም በአካባቢ እንደማለት ነው። So የሱ መሄድ ነው መጀመሪያ የተፈጠረው። እኔ በኋላ ነው ሪያላይዝ ያደረኩት በኋላ ነው የገባኝ እንጂ እሱ ቀድሞ ሄዶ ነበር ያኔ ከኔ መጨረስ በፊት ሄዶ ነበር። Okay, so by the time አብሮት የመጣው past event ነው። ከዛ event በፊት occur ያደረገው event ደግሞ past perfect እንጠቀማለን። For example, second example, we have he would have already left by the time I finish. He would have already left by the time I finish. So ይሄ in the independent clause we have would have left, would have already left የሚለው in the main clause, in the independent clause. So this has a future perfect tense. Future perfect tense ነው because modal plus have plus past participle ብለናል last timeም ስናወራ። So future perfect ነው ያለው independent clause ላይ። Dependent clause ላይ is a present simple tense. Why? Because already pass ያደረገ action ነው or ገና pass ሊያደርግ እየጠበቀ ያለ action ነው ግን ይሆናል ብለን እናስበው action ነው። So ስለ conditional sentence ስናወራ we call this conditional type 3. ይሄንኛው past ቢሆን ነው if the dependent clause was past conditional type 3 ይሆን ነበር. You see, that's the difference. The conditional sentence does not apply to every sentence መሆኑንም ግራ መንገዳችሁን ታያላችሁ። So ይሄ by the time I finish አልጨረስኩም ገና አልጨረስኩም ግን እኔ በመጨረስበት ጊዜ እሱ already ሄዶ ይሆናል እንደማለት ነው። እስካሁን አላወቅንም መሄዱን አልሄደም ሄዶ ላይ ሆንም ይችላል ሄዶም ሊሆን ይችላል we don't know about this one እኔ ግን አልጨረስኩም ገና okay ገና future event ነው እኔ የምጨርሰው ገና for the future ነው so if the action by the time ጋር የሚመጣው action past ከሆነ the dependent clause becomes past perfect the independent clause becomes past perfect if by the time ጋር የሚመጣው action ገና for the future occur የሚያደርግ ከሆነ ደግሞ the independent tenses action becomes future perfect and then we have until or till the difference between until and till ሁሉም እስከ ነው ትርጉሙ በአማርኛ but until is ሁለቱም grammatically correct ናቸው ግን until we use it for formal writings we don't use till for formal writings usually la spoken English or informal የሆነ occasion ላይ ነው የምንጠቀመው till okay until እና till ደግሞ ወይ simple present ነው የሚጠቀሙት ወይ simple past ነው የሚጠቀሙት because እስከ እንደዚህ እስኪሆን ድረስ እንደማለት ነው so he waited until I finished so እዚህ ላይ in the independent clause we have the past form the past tense እዚህ ጋር he waited የሚለው past tense አለን until I finished ደግሞ is also in a simple past form until ጋር የመጣው clause until ጋር የመጣው adverbial clause of time is also in its simple past form because already pass ያደረገ action ነው pass ያደረገ event ነው ማለት ነው in the second one he will wait until I finish እኔ እስክጨርስ ይጠብቀኛል so ለfuture event ሲሆን ደግሞ we use simple present tense እስክጨርስ ይጠብቀኛል እያልን ነው ማለት ነው so here we have this is the future event so we use simple present with the future event and then we have since ማለት ከዛን ጊዜ ጀምሮ የሆነ የተወሰነ ጊዜ ወይ የተወሰነ ነገር ይነገራልና ከዛን ጊዜ ጀምሮ ለማለት ነው የምንጠቀምበት since we use since usually with present perfect or present perfect continuous tense because it's an action that's still happening or that was still happening okay an action that is in continuity አሁንም እየቀጠለ ያለ action ስለሆነ ነገር ነው የምናወራው ካልሆነ ደግሞ ያኔ እየቀጠለ የነበረ action it's a continuous action but it's in the past እንደማለት ነው for example we have I have been waiting for him since 9 a.m. I have been waiting for him since 9 a.m. so this whole sentence one sentence is in its present perfect continuous because we have plus been plus present participle have plus been plus present participle so it's in its present perfect continuous form ካሁን በፊት occur እያደረገ የነበረ action ነው so it's already in the past we're talking about it at some point in the future ግን it didn't happen far into the past like እኔ ስለዚህ ነገር ማወራው a few minutes into him coming ሊሆን ይችላል ከመጣ ከተወሰነ ደቂቃ በኋላ የምናገረው ነገር ሊሆን ይችላል so we don't know so present perfect continuous መጣ ማለት it's an action that has been in continuity for some time in the near past okay ብዙም አልራቀም እንደማለት ነው and then we have as soon as ማለት immediately after something happens ልክ የሆነ ነገር እንደሆነ ማለት ነው ልክ የሆነ ነገር occur እንዳደረገ as soon as ማለት immediately after something happens so we use simple present tense most of the time አብዛኛውን ጊዜ as soon as ጋር simple present tense ነው የምንጠቀመው አንዳንዴ ደግሞ simple perfect tense ሊገባ ይችላል but that doesn't usually happen so usually as soon as ጋር ለመጠቀም comfortable የሚሆነው የሚያመቸን is simple present tense for example we will leave as soon as he gets down as soon as ጋር የመጣው clause አሁንም I told you it's the dependent clause. It's the dependent clause. So dependent clause ላይ simple present ተጠቅመናል. You see? We will leave. It's a future event. It's a future event. We will leave as soon as he gets down. Future event ስለሆነ we used simple present tense. Because we have finally we have whenever or every time. Whenever or every time. Whenever or every time show habitual action. Habitual action. ብዙ ጊዜ በጣም ብዙ ጊዜ occur የሚያደርግ action ያሳዩናል። ብዙ ጊዜ occur የሚያደርግ action. So habitual action እስከሆነ ድረስ በአሁኑ ጊዜ እስካሁን ድረስ habit የሆነ ነገር ኤክስፕረስ ለማድረግ present simple tense እንጠቀማለን። ያን እስከ ቅርብ ጊዜ ድረስ ወይ ድሮ habit የነበረንን ነገር habit የሆነን ነገር ብዙ ጊዜ occur እያደረገ የነበረን ነገር ለመግለጽ ደግሞ past simple እንጠቀማለን. For example, we have whenever I tried to talk to him, whenever I tried to talk to him, he avoided me. Whenever I tried to talk to him, he avoided me. He is already a past action. ካሁን በፊት ያጋጠመ action ነው። መቼ እንደሆነ ባናቅም ካሁን በፊት ያጋጠመ action ነው። So ካሁን በፊት ያጋጠመ action ነው። አሁን እያጋጠመ አይደለም ማለት ነው. Since it's in its past form. Past form ላይ ስለሆነ አሁን እያጋጠመ አይደለም. ግን ባጋጠመበት ሰዓት ያ ኢቨንት በተከናወነበት ሰዓት it was a habit. ብዙ ጊዜ ተደጋግሞብኛል ማለት ነው. If I say whenever I tried to talk to him, he avoided me. እኔ ላወራው በሞከርኩ ቁጥር avoid እያደረገኝ ነበር. You see? We have ነበር. So it's a past habit ማለት ነው. And then we have every time I try to be nice. I try to be nice. Try. We have the simple present form. Simple present form of I try to be nice. He gets short with me. He gets short with me. Nice ለሆን በሞከርኩ ቁጥር ይናደድብኛል እንደማለት ነው. Nice ለመሆን በሞከርኩ ቁጥር ይናደድብኛል. So still አሁንም ሂጄ if I try to be nice to him ለሱ ጥሩ ለመሆን ከሞከርኩኝ he's gonna get short with me. ይናደድብኛል እንደማለት ነው. So አሁንም occur እያደረገ ያለ action ነው. So አሁንም occur እያደረገ ያለ habit ከሆነ present simple ተጠቀም. You see? And then we're gonna see the second chapter, the 5th chapter. አምስተኛውን chapter እናያለን. በዚህ chapter ውስጥ we're gonna see 2 lessons, verbal ማለት gerunds, infinitives and participles. ልዩነታቸውን እናያለን. The second lesson ደግሞ how to fix wordiness. How to fix wordiness እናያለን. So the first lesson ኤግዛማችሁ ላይ ይመጣል. ኤግዛም ላይ አለ ጥያቄዎች አሉ ከኤግዛም የሚወጡ. The second lesson however ኤግዛማችሁ ላይ አይመጣም. ሊመጣ የሚችለው maybe በተወሰነ መልኩ ነው. second lesson ለምንድን ነው የምንማረው ዛሬ ካላችሁ ግን ለኮሌጅ አፕሊኬሽን ይጠቅማችኋል. አንደኛ ለኮሌጅ አፕሊኬሽን ማለት ስኮላርሺፕ ምናምን ለምትፈልጉ ልጆች ኤሴይ ስትጽፉ ወርዲ የሆነ ኤሴይ መጻፍ የለባችሁ. ይሄንን ፊክስ ያደርግላችኋል. እሱን lesson ውስጥ ስንገባ በደንብ እናያለን. So the first lesson we're going to see verbals. So the 3 verbals, gerunds, infinitives and participles are formed from verbs. Participles last lesson ላይ አይተነው ነበር. Unit 3 ላይ አይተነው ነበር. So ዛሬ በተወሰነ መልኩ ትንሽ ቅንጭብ አድርገን እናያለን. Those 3 verbals are formed from verbs. ከverb ናቸው ፎርም የሚሆኑት ግን ብቻቸውን እንደ verb ልንጠቀምባቸው አንችልም. ብቻቸውን ወስደን እንደ verb ልንጠቀምባቸው ወይ ደግሞ እንደ main action ልንጠቀምባቸው አንችልም. Instead ብቻቸውን ከመውሰድ ይልቅ ብቻቸውን ከወሰድናቸው they are used as nouns, adjectives ወይ ደግሞ adverbs. ብቻቸውን ከወሰድናቸው ከሌላ ጋር ከverb to have እና verb to be ጋር የሚገቡት participles ግን are different. Okay? Soon we're going to see explain ስናደርግ. So first we have gerunds end in ing. verb ing የምንለው በተለምዶ ማለት ነው and in ing ግን verboች አይደሉም ing ከመጨመሩ በፊት verb ነበሩ ግን ing ስንጨምርባቸው they are used as nouns for example skiing is fun የሚለው sentence ላይ ski ማለት it's a type of sport it means sliding on snow basically sliding on snow ማለት ነው snow ላይ መንሸራተትን we say ski ግን skiing is fun ካለን we have the verb the action that's fun የሚለው action አለን እዚህ so main verbaችን is fun and we have verb to be so ማንን ነው እየገለጹ ያሉት who are they talking about what is fun skiing አይደል so this is not an action skiing functions as a noun so it's a gerund so gerund ነው እንለዋለን ማለት ነው and then we have infinitives infinitive ማለት ደግሞ and then we have infinitive ማለት ደግሞ የአንድ verb normal ፎርሙ base ፎርሙ verb 1 ፎርሙ ከ2 ጋር አንድ ላይ ሲመጣ ማለት ነው this means 2 plus verb 1 ሲሆን infinitive እንለዋለን infinitives ደግሞ usually as a noun function ያደርጋሉ infinitives usually as a noun function ያደርጋሉ አንዳንዴ as an adjective or an adverb function ሊያደርጉ ይችላሉ ግን usually they function as a noun for example I like to ski I like to ski so to ski ብቻውን ቢመጣ I ski every day ምናምን ከሆነ ski is a verb I ski every day የሚለው sentence ውስጥ ski is a verb but I like to ski የሚለው the verb has got an object ይሄ ማለት who likes I do what do I like to ski okay so transitive verb like ነው transitive verb ማለት ደግሞ it has got a subject and it has got a direct object subjectም አለው direct objectም አለው ብለናል last time so subjecቱ is I action እየፈጸመ ያለው መውደዱን like ማድረጉን እየፈጸመ ያለው is I እየተወደደ ያለው like እየተደረገ ያለው is skiing okay so I like to ski so direct objectu yeah like direct object ski no so in this sentence to ski is a noun functions as a noun and እንደስም ነው የምንጠቀምበት and the second sentence she had a suggestion to offer she had a suggestion to offer so we have here the word suggestion የሚለው word አለን suggestion የሚለው ምን የሚደረግ suggestion ነው so to offer explains us what kind of suggestion it is a suggestion to command no a suggestion to ask no a suggestion to offer no so we have a suggestion to offer ምን አይነት suggestion ነው I'm just offering a suggestion ካልን we are using offer as an adjective ልክ እንደዛው the infinitive to offer is used as an adjective to the word suggestion in this sentence and then we have participles present participle እና past participle ይባላሉ ብለን በchapter 3 ላይ አይተነው ነበር present participle ሲሆን verb ing የምንላቸው በተለምዶ ing የሚወስዱ ሲሆን present participle ይባላሉ past participle ደግሞ the past form the past perfect form አሁን steal የነበረው stolen past perfect form ሲሆን past participle እንለዋለን participles last time እንዳየነው unit 3 ላይ እንዳየነው they can function as adjectives በዛው ልክ ግን ከverb to be or verb to have ጋር አንድ ላይ እየመጡ they can show us tenses tense ሊያወጡልን ይችላሉ ከverb to be እና verb to have እየመጡ for example the first sentence we have the dancing parrots entertained the crowd እዚህ ላይ the participle dancing is in its present participle form አይደል verb ing ነው የወሰደው so it's in its present participle form so ማንን እየገለጸልን ነው እዚህ ላይ is it explaining something yes it's talking about the parrots what do the parrots do it's telling us what the parrots do. ምን አይነት ፓሮቶች እንደሆኑ what type of parrots they are እየገለጸልን ነው። so ብዙ ፓሮቶች አሉ. if we say የትኛው parrot, we can identify which parrot because the dancing ones ከተባለ the dancing parrots ከተባለ it's explaining what kind of parrots those are, what kind of parrots we are looking at. so the dancing parrots, dancing here is acting as an adjective parrotin ለመግለጽ, parrotoችን ለመግለጽ. the second example, she is thinking of the children. she is thinking of the children. so thinking እዚህ ጋር እንደ main verb ነው የመጣው, እንደ main verb. okay ከማጋ ሲመጣ ነው እንደዛ የሚሆነው ብያለሁ. verb to be እና verb to have. is a verb to be, is verb to be ነው. so ከverb to be ጋር thinking መጣ. so that means thinking is used as the main verb. so ይሄ sentence ምን አይነት tense indicate ያደርግልናል? present continuous tense, present continuous tense. and then we have the second lesson of the chapter, how to fix wordiness. and then we have the second lesson, how to fix wordiness. how to fix wordiness. so wordiness ማለት if a sentence contains a word that can be replaced or shortened, ማሳጠር ወይ መተካት የምንችለውን ቃል contain የሚያደርግ ከሆነ የሆነ sentence ግን ደግሞ ያ ቃል አሳጥረ ነው ወይ replace አድርገ ነው the same meaning, the same message የሚሰጠን ከሆነ እና ብዙ ቃላት ከሆነ ያሉት we call it wordiness. for example, in order to reach her goal, Hannah worked all weekend. in order to reach her goal, Hannah worked all weekend. እና to reach her goal, Hannah worked all weekend. so እኛ እስካሁን እየተማርን የመጣ ነው is we should say in order to አይደል? we should say in order to. ግን when writing a sentence, especially when writing an essay, we should not use in order to because it's too lengthy. ግን ሁሉም sentence ላይ to አስገቡ ማለት አይደለም. we will talk about that በኋላ. I'll tell you how to fix those wordinesses. but in order to የሚለው to ብለን ልናሳጥረው እየቻልን to ብለን ልናሳጥረው እየቻልን in order to ብለን ካስረዘም ነው it gets boring. the reader wouldn't finish reading it. it would get boring for the reader. so ማሳጠር የምንችላቸውን ቃል ማሳጠር እንችላለን ማለት ነው. so to reach her goal, Hannah worked all weekend. see, easier and simpler. so wordinessን avoid ለማድረግ ያለብን ነገሮች the first one, removing redundant phrases. we need to watch out for redundant phrases. redundant phrases ማለት የሆኑ ሁለት ወይ ሶስት ቃላት ሆነው ግን the same thing የሚደግሙልን ከሆኑ the same thing የሚደግሙልን ከሆኑ የሆኑ ሁለት ቃላት አንድ ላይ መተው the same thing ከሆነ ትርጉማቸው እና ከሆነ ትርጉማቸው አንደኛውን ግዴታ ሪሙቭ ማድረግ አለብን because wordy ይሆናል በጣም wordy ይሆናል sentence and it gets boring for the reader. so አንደኛውን ሪሙቭ ካደረግነው በኋላ maybe slight restructure መሆን ይኖርበት ይሆናል ማለት we might have to add a or the መጨመር ሊኖርብን ይችላል ግን grammatically meaning the same ነው message አይቀየርም. for example, the CEO was not happy with the end result of the campaign. the CEO was not happy with the end result of the campaign. end result የሚሉት ሁለት ቃላት endም መጨረሻ ነው resultም መጨረሻ ላይ የሚመጣ ውጤት ነው. so we're basically saying end result ማለት መጨረሻ ላይ የሚመጣ ውጤት ግን ውጤት የሚመጣው ሁሌ መጨረሻ ላይ ነው. everybody knows that. so መጨረሻ ላይ ብሎ መናገር አያስፈልገንም. we don't need end. you see እዚህ ላይ end is a redundant phrase. a redundant phrase. so an additional cup of sugar. an additional cup of sugar ካልን add additional cup of sugar. add additional cup of sugar ካልን redundant phrase addም አለ additionalም አለ. we don't need them both. so ለሁለቱንም ጠቅልሎ የሚይዝልን we have add. So additional እናወጣውና add a cup of sugar. Add a cup of sugar. Okay? And then we have unnecessary intensifiers. Intensifiers and the very, really የሚሉት intensifiers, we use them to show the extremity. Extremityውን ለማሳየት ነው የምንጠቀመው. Really and very. ግን አሁን instead of saying very pretty ከማለት very pretty ከማለት we can say beautiful. Just like the example ማለት ነው. The new dog at the shelter was malnourished and really hungry. So was malnourished and really hungry ከማለት ይልቅ really hungry እና starving the same meaning ካለው why don't we shorten it using starving አስገብተን really hungry የሚለውን አውጥተን we can shorten it and the sentence becomes more attractive and easier to read. And removing long expressions. So here's the difference. College essay writing and writing novels are different. ማለት you need to know who your audience is, what you are writing about. If you're writing fiction books, አንባቢው ሊጠብቃችሁ ይችላል. fiction ከሆነ የምትጽፉት novel ከሆነ የምትጽፉት እስከተወሰነ ጊዜ አንባቢው ሊጠብቃችሁ ይችላል. But if you're writing an essay እየጻፋችሁ ለኮሌጅ application, ለስራ application, ለፈተና application essay እየጻፋችሁ ከሆነ ግን ቁጭ ብሎ essayያችሁን ለማንበብ ጊዜ ያለው ሰው የለም. Okay? If your essay is not attractive and simple at the same time, የሚያነበው ሰው አታገኙም. Okay? They might read half of it, but they're gonna leave it. So you need to make it short, simple, and attractive. Okay? In order to make it short, you need to remove long expressions. አሁን 3-4 ቃላት በደረደረ አይደለም. Which one gives emphasis? Emphasis ያለው የትኛው ላይ ነው? Main focusaችን የትኛው ላይ ነው? ሁሉንም አንድ ላይ ጠቅልሎ ሊይዝልን የሚችለው የትኛው ነው? So for example, we have during the course of winter, energy bills collectively rise because people rely on their heaters. During the course of winter, energy bills collectively rise because people rely on the heaters. So instead of saying during winter ካልን በዊንተር ጊዜ, during the course of winter ካልን ግን winter ላይ ባለው ጊዜ. You see, unnecessary ቃላቶችን እየተጠቀምን ነው. አንደኛ ሰንተንሱ ረዘመ. ሁለተኛ if that person እስካሁን እያነበበ በመጣው ሰንተንሳችሁ ደክሞት ይሄንን ሰንተንስ ከጨመራችሁበት might end up stopping. Okay? So remove long expressions. The course of አያስፈልገንም እዚህ ላይ አያስፈልገንም because already during winter ማለት በዊንተር ጊዜ for the length of winter እንደማለት ነው. Okay? So the course of አያስፈልገንም. We already know how long winter would last. So during ብቻ ካልን during the course of አጠቃሎ ይዝልናል. So we don't need that ማለት ነው. And note that wordiness ማለት uncommon, difficult ቃላቶችን መጠቀም ማለት አይደለም. ልክ እንደነገርኳችሁ አሁን ኦዲየንሳችሁን መለየት ያስፈልጋችኋል. So ኦዲየንሳችሁ, if whoever is reading your essay does not have that much knowledge about vocabulary ያን ያክል knowledge የሌለው ሰው ከሆነና ከባድ ቃላትን የምትጠቀሙ ከሆነ they might not read it. ላያነቡት ይችላሉ. ግን if you use ከባድ vocabulary, classic books ከሚያነብ ሰው ጋር it would be okay. ግን if you use ከባድ vocabulary አሁን ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ከሚኖር ሰው ጋር ወይ እዚህ ሆኖ ለሚያነብ ሰው ጋር they might be impressed ግን ለማንበብ ይቸገራሉ. That means they might end up missing the main point of your essay. So አሁን የምደግምላችሁ አንባቢያችሁን ለዩ. Know your audience. Okay? ከዚህ ቀጥሎ we're gonna do some exercises. So ልክ እንደተለመደው I'm gonna give you exercises to do. ግን እኔ አንድ ሁለት ጥያቄ ነው ሰርችላችሁ ማልፈው. So የመጀመሪያው instruction adverb of time አስገቡ ነው የሚለው. Adverb of time አስገቡ ነው የሚለው. I need you guys to complete this because I think they are not hard የሚሆኑ አይመስለኝም. But if they're hard, please comment down below እና እንደ አዲስ እንሰራቸዋለን አንድ ላይ. he cleaned his teeth dash he went to bed. He cleaned his teeth dash he went to bed. So እዚህኛው ላይ ሊገቡ የሚችሉ adverb of time while he went to bed ማለት አንችልም። when he went to bed ማለት እንችላለን ግን it would be ambiguous. It wouldn't be specific. It wouldn't be good enough. So he cleaned his teeth before he went to bed. ካለን ግን ከመተኛቱ በፊት ጥርሱን አጸዳ. You see? It's easy. So የቀሩትንም እንደዚህ ያረጋችሁ በሌሎች adverb of timeዎችም መሙላት ነው. And then the second instruction is deciding if the word or phrase is a participle, a gerund, or an infinitive. Okay? So እነዚህንም እንድትሰሩልኝ እፈልጋለሁ. Because አሁን ቅድም በተነጋገርነው መሰረት we know what a gerund is, we know what a participle is, we know what an infinitive is. So for example, the first one, we have the thief arrested for the robbery. The thief arrested for the robbery. And then the flag waving. And then in the wind is inspirational. The flag waving in the wind is inspirational. They are sure the extra planning will make a difference in the end. They are sure the extra planning will make a difference in the end. So we have planning. Jamal's confusing message did nothing to solve the mystery. Jamal's confusing message did nothing to solve the mystery. And Godzilla made a game of smashing all the red cars parked near the lake. Godzilla made a game of smashing all of the red cars parked near the lake. And then here we have made. The politicians' broken promises were all that the voters remembered. Broken. Okay? So I'm gonna do the sixth question. The politicians' broken promises were all the voters remembered. The politicians' broken promises were all that the voters remembered. So broken came before promises and after the politician. So it's explaining to us about the promises. So we're using it as an adverb, and the adverb እየተጠቀምነው ነው እዚህ ላይ. Okay? And the adverb እየተጠቀምነው ነው. ማንን modify ያደረገልን ነው? Promisesን modify ያደረገልን ነው. So verb 3 form or past participle form ሊኖረው የሚችለው ማን ነው? Participle ሲሆን ነው. Okay? When it's a participle. So የቀሩትንም በእንደዚህ መልኩ ትሰሩታላችሁ. And it was just today. Thank you very much for listening.